Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my rapid-fire Thailand wildlife trip. You join me at Somdej Phra Srinagarindra Park. This is just a public park that anyone can go to, surrounded on all sides by fairly big limestone cliffs. I had a really excellent morning here. It was beautiful, it was clean, everyone was really friendly and interested in what I was looking at. And there was all sorts, including weaver ants. Interesting though they were, they're very active and very smart, and just having a look at them, they decided to turn and have a go at me, so it was time to leave them alone. Ant conservationists, look away now. This is a perfect example of what public parks can be if you look after them. In Thailand anyway, completely spotless, no litter, everyone's friendly, there's amazing wildlife everywhere because they've got the right trees, the right plants, enough water, it just works. One of the highlights here was this massive monitor pushing 6 foot easily, just taking himself for a swim. I saw a couple in this session actually, and in this lake, in this pond, you could see them underwater. It was clear, but as they swam, they'd kick up the silt and you could follow them. Really cool. There was loads going on. Insects, reptiles, birds, a new species for me, the red wattled lapwing. Couldn't get too close and the sun was a bit harsh, but it was nice to see anyway. On top of that, any bittern is always a bonus. And a yellow bittern was cautiously hiding away in some of the lower trees. But as we know with birding, things don't always go to plan.
I've heard and seen something really big. It had a massive forked tail and was about that size. I'm assuming it's a racket-tailed something, but that might be too basic. It's in that tree. I'm going to have a look and see if I can get a little bit closer and get a picture of it for you. But it made a massive, big, great noise. There it goes. Biggest reminder I've had photographing around water in Thailand is look 15 yards in front of you. Not where you want something to be, not that nice ruddy kingfisher.
So, as annoying as it was missing the drongo, no less than 2 minutes later, I had this. A white-throated kingfisher, a first for me. It's easy to switch off when you've missed something and get annoyed. Don't.
Yes. He's just moved over to that branch. That was a bit of luck. Telling you not to look at the nice perch, and a brown-winged kingfisher is on the nice perch right in front of me. I was just thinking, I've only seen one kingfisher today, the common kingfisher. God, there's stuff happening everywhere. That was, I think, some type of bulbul trying to fight some type of sunbird or spider hunter.
This is supposed to look like an elephant. Can you see it?
These oriental garden lizards are absolutely everywhere, and there's quite a lot of colour variation in them. This one's quite a normal lizard brown.
Not the most exciting thing on earth, but really fun to photograph. Starting to wilt, it's time for a drink before moving on to Ao Phang Na Mangroves. This is a beautiful park where most people come and go out on a boat to look at some of these limestone stacks, but there's a huge number of interesting species.
Target species here, mudskipper and ruddy kingfisher. Probably the weirdest looking kingfisher compared to the common kingfisher back home. So I'd be absolutely thrilled if we could see one of those. But I have a feeling we're going to see a lot else as well.
This place had come under some scrutiny. I think the guy running it was accused and charged of embezzling state funds, but since then they've rebuilt the trail with a few looking platforms, and it is really well done. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best boardwalk that I've actually seen anywhere in the world, so well done to them. Interestingly, the mangrove trees here have developed these special roots to breathe through the low-level water when the tide is in. And here is the colossal viewing tower. I wanted to get up to the top and have a look for some birds of prey because I could hear some eagle-ish, some bird of prey sounding calls off in the distance. And what a view. Well worth coming up to the top even if there weren't any birds.
One of the problems with bird photography in the heat, just as the cicadas have started up behind me, is that 90% of the time you're going to have the sun behind you, which means your neck, back of the arms and calves and ears get absolutely hammered by the sun. So I've just stopped to re-cream and make sure my big hat is actually covering my neck, because 35 degrees in Thailand, facing one direction pretty much all day, is not a good strategy. And I'm sure there are dozens of birders watching this who've done that all day. They've had great action in front of them and forgotten to think about the sun and been absolutely hammered by it. If that's you, leave a comment down below and tell me where it was.
And just as I turn around, a Brahminy kite, almost an exact replica of an African fish eagle, but quite a bit smaller. These guys over here are a symbol of good luck, good fortune. That chestnut back with the white breast and throat is instantly recognisable, and Phang Na and the surrounding area are a stronghold for them. There's loads. These birds hunt in a number of different ways, but love to engage in kleptoparasitism and nick prey from other birds. Bang on theme with Thailand being a country where there's something for everyone. Look at these crabs. These fiddler crabs have a completely different set of front claws. A massive one for gripping and crushing things, and a tiny, tiny, tiny feeding claw. What was interesting is that these guys didn't have a left or a right claw, a big one on a specific side. It was different on each crab, which I thought was cool. In terms of bird life, I was actually struggling a little bit in the mangrove. I think it would have been much more productive first thing in the morning, but there we are. So when I did see something, I had to get the shot. I couldn't waste it, which meant getting slightly uncomfortable. This Asian brown flycatcher was a nice distraction from the crabs. Very, very small, quite sweet and easy to miss. So I was happy I got him on film.
Oh, there's mudskipper. Oh, they're fast. They're going in and out of the mangrove roots. They're way faster than I expected. It's making it actually quite difficult to keep the camera on them.
I was so happy I saw these guys. What an incredible animal. Remember, this is a fish, standing in the sun and walking with his front fins. Mudskippers have actually been seen and measured jumping as far as 60 centimetres, 24 inches. Luckily, I even managed to spot one of their burrows before being interrupted. Another Asian water monitor, this time a young one, really quite small, 2.5 feet long, on the hunt. And he's got a crab, quite a big one. This is actually a great environment for them if you think about it. Loads of crabs, loads of small invertebrates and other fish, even birds from time to time. But he wasn't finished there. Sticking his head completely down a flooded hole, looking for more. I hope this one makes it to be the size of the big one we saw earlier. No other birds to speak of, so it's time for some more macro.
Just look at the size of this hermit crab. I'm getting absolutely hammered by mosquitoes and other bugs, but I had to show you this.
Worth having a look at. These hermit crabs were huge, but it was an early night as the following morning we were off to have a look at another different environment, this time underwater in the Andaman Sea. I won't spend too long on the underwater stuff, but check out this blue crown of thorns, well worth a Google. I absolutely love the water, so had to come and do this, but it wasn't long before I was back on the beach working out what lizards I'd seen. These oriental garden lizards were fascinating. So confident, so bold, and very territorial. Locked in an epic battle, these two males were not going to let the other go. Not without a fight anyway. turning, rolling, grabbing the other's tail, vying for dominance until the stronger male had claimed his territory. I really want to remind people, you don't have to go deep into the jungle to see great birds. This is a 5-minute walk down the beach at my hotel, and not just keeping an eye out, but from time to time standing still, which is exactly how I bumped into these chestnut-headed bee-eaters, a beautiful bird that is amazing to watch behave. It'll whiz off, do these amazing acrobatic rolls, twist and turn and dive left and right, and before you know it, they've got a huge bee or wasp ready to swallow, and they catch loads of them. Ended up doing more video than stills on this trip, just the way it was, but I did get this, which for a bird I didn't have much time with, I'm really happy with. But there were a couple more species to tick off just around the hotel. One final bird of prey was the black bazza. This is quite a common bird of prey here in the right season, and on migration you can see hundreds of them if you're in the right place. That's it for my whistle-stop Thailand trip. I saw all of this in less than 3 full days out in the field. If you didn't see part 1, I'll link it up top now. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time when I try to work out if you can do a proper South African safari in 4 days. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. See you then.